Minnesota took down USC. And we spent a large portion of the Thursday show sounding the alarm about this game. And it was fairly entertaining. I'd put 3 Chalai on this game on the 1 to 3 scale. But Thursday, I sat here and we kind of detailed why we thought this was a big upset potential. And the first thing was USC is the 4th most traveled team in FBS over the last month. It was a big look-ahead spot because they got Penn State coming up this weekend. Minnesota was 16th in the country in pressure rate. And also, I didn't like the matchup at all up front because Minnesota averages 310 plus. Every one of their O-linemen are 310 plus. And USC is not. They are still very light in the britches, as Meemaw would say, in their defensive front. And what happens is I go on air and I say, y'all got one defensive lineman above 300 pounds right now. It's not a good matchup. And you want to play semantics with me because everyone lies in their media guide about the weights of their players. I'm telling you, you think I'm just running my mouth about this stuff. Our buddy here always loves to get after us and then turn into a cricket when we prove him wrong and dunk on him. Josh has gotten so bad, he just lies to get clicks. First off, we don't have only one defensive lineman over 300. We have 6 that are 290 plus. It's amazing to watch the fall of Pate out of the need for attention. Newsflash. If we wanted to get clicks around here, we'd be better at it than anyone. And secondly, I'm pretty sure if I want to get clicks, Minnesota's offensive line and how they match up with someone is not the first piece of low-hanging fruit I'm going to go after. What happened was we told you the truth, and you didn't like the way the truth sounded, so you called it clickbait. Because as we know, anything that you don't agree with or you don't like the sound of is clickbait. It couldn't be that you're wrong on something. It couldn't even be that someone has a differing point of view that's valid and is with merit and logic-based. It cannot be that. So I sit here and tell you I don't like the matchup up front. I think Minnesota can lean on them, despite the fact that Minnesota had not been all that great running the ball this year, but the matchup was bad. Minnesota ran it for 5.1 yards per carry. We told you that the pressure rate would probably matter here. USC had 0 explosive passes. Miller Moss threw 2 picks. Minnesota got after him. They had 6 quarterback hurries, 8 pass breakups, and holding USC to 17 is getting it done. They won 24-17. Like, that's getting it done. Run the ball, play good defense, pick your spots, quarterback makes timely throws. That's Minnesota football. That's what it's supposed to be. They played it yesterday. USC played fairly well. I mean, it wasn't a garbage performance, but there was a bad luck stat here. You look at this third down conversion rate, USC goes 7 of 11, Minnesota goes 2 of 8. You think Southern Cal won the football game, and they didn't, because there's a fundamental issue here. You can either accept it or not. Lincoln Riley's a wonderful coach. Lincoln Riley is in year 3 at USC, but he's in year 1 of a rebuild. And some people cannot square that. Some people think, okay, you took over 3 years ago, so you're in year 3 of a rebuild. He's not, because he didn't hire the way he should have. He did not staff the way he should have when he got there. He had a defensive coordinator that had no business having the defensive coordinator role at Southern Cal, and so he didn't course correct immediately. And as a result, he got to year 3. Now he's hired the right guys. If you just sit there and give them time, they'll get it right. USC will be a big-time contender. But some people can't square that. You're free to have your opinion on that. It's your program. It's not my program. And I'm not saying there's like a unanimous yes or no on this, but a lot of people simply cannot accept and aren't willing to accept that notion that you can be 3 years in but be 1 year into a rebuild. But they are. That's just the reality of it. Like it or not, that's the reality of it. 2 Big Ten losses now, and Penn State coming to town. Penn State plays in the Coliseum this Saturday night. At FanDuel right now, Penn State's favored by 4.5. That's going to be one of the games of the week. And there is mass disagreement in the building right now about how that game is going to go. But USC still got a long way to go. There are a lot of other teams that physically can get after it with you like Minnesota did. Not a terrible game. Not a terrible game. There are losable and winnable games here, but USC has fallen a good way. They are now 8th in the odds to win the Big Ten championship. So that took a fall yesterday after that second conference loss.